Alright friends, we are nearing the end of the Ariel 2020 Holiday 2020 Ariel Barbie quest. And one of the last steps of this is sew the hoop skirt petticoat. Our task today is to go find the materials for such a project. What we are searching for at the Goodwill, potentially, is a white cotton king-size sheet set. Why am I going to Goodwill to get this? Because number one, sustainability. Number two, price. Number three, challenge. I want to see, a king-size sheet set should be plenty of yardage to make a hoop skirt petticoat. We just don't have one because we don't have a king-size bed. So that is the goal. You are coming with us on this journey. We will see what we find. All right, here we are. We're at the Goodwill. We're ready to go in, see if we can find some sheets. You ready for this?
As red as one can be.
All right, we'll see if we can film inside without it being weird. And we are out. There were people in there. There was one lady running around with her mask under her chin, and it was just like, get me out of here. Now we are going to Target and other errand running about things, and we will check in when we get home. And we're back, and we have had a successful mission. I wanted to give you a better look at the things that we acquired at the thrift store before throwing them in the washing machine.
Oh, yeah.
Because, oh, hey!
I forgot I got you those.
Cool!
Okay.
Yay! But they come in a super cute tin! Look at that! Hooray. I got this table runner that is embroidered with silver embroidery. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm gonna do something cool. And then I got this big old blue cotton sheet. It's 100% cotton. It's starting to come unstitched here, but that's fine. I'm gonna do something with it. Possibly make a dress. Maybe it'll be mock-up fabric, but you know, it's a nice color. It's soft. And then for the petticoat. For the body of the petticoat, it is 100% Egyptian cotton. It's off-white yellow, like a soft yellow color, which is fine. And then for the ruffles, because I don't think this sheet is going to be big enough, I don't think it's a king size, I got some lovely lace curtains. And the nice thing about these is I can cut these in half. Ta-da! I only have to hem one end. I might actually cut it into 3 and hem the middle ruffle. If I cut it into 3, each curtain panel into 3, that should give me enough for the ruffles. We got 2 sheets, some curtains, and a table runner, and a vinyl, and a CD, and we paid $12.50. But anyway, I'm gonna go throw these in the washing machine and get started on working on this. This we are going to attempt a one-day make. So I want everything washed and ironed so that everything is ready, and tomorrow morning when I get up I can cut it out and start making it. But I'll have all the math and all the pattern stuff figured out tonight before I go to bed so I can maybe actually successfully complete a one-day make. Good evening. We are finally getting to the making of this video. Tomorrow is Monday. Zach and Emma are both going off, and I will have the day to myself. And I wanted to talk you through the plan that I have for the one-day make. So I took some measurements, and the sheet that I got is a full-size sheet. So it is 94 inches long by 86 inches wide. And it's 94 inches long minus this band at the top. You know, that like thick fold-over band. I have decided that that thick fold-over band is going to make a lovely waistband and maybe some ruffle. I don't know. My goal is to use as much of this as possible. I measured my cage crinoline, and the waistband needs to be 35-ish inches. I'm probably going to make it 40 and do elastic. I might actually do a tie closure in the back with some grommets on the waistband, just so that it doesn't add the bulk of the like elastic. But then it needs to be 34 inches long and at least 108 inches at the hem. The goal is to get at least 8 tiers of ruffles, 1 for each hoop in the petticoat. That is the goal. And there will be 1 on the bottom that's of the same fabric as the petticoat, and the rest of them will be the lace. So that is the plan. As an added measure of fun, we have decided to use a tea counter to count how many cups of tea I consume while I am making this project. I contemplated cutting out the fabric, but I sort of feel like that's cheating. So instead what I'm going to do this evening is I'm going to wind a butt ton of bobbins. I'm going to be using natural colored thread. This is just Dual Duty Coats and Clark. But I'm going to wind a bunch of bobbins because this is going to be a lot of ruffles. What else should I prep? I have clippy clips, friction pens, handy dandy tape measure, oiled my scissors. But yeah, and that's everything. And hopefully we'll actually get a project made in a single day. That's the plan. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Good morning. Are we ready for this? It is 6:42 in the morning. I'm gonna go start the tea kettle and make some tea. And then we'll get started, eh? It is 11:15 and I wanted to check in. I have gotten all of the lace ruffles cut. The next step is to sew them together into a big long strip. And I'm not gonna hem them, I'm just gonna run a gathering stitch along here, and I am going to pin them starting at the top. Here's the other ruffle. It also has gathering threads. So this is the one that's gonna go on the bottom. That's done. Here is petticoat. I started pinning it to the waistband and I had it all like gathered, and then I was like, you know what, it would probably be easier to attach the ruffles if this was flat. So unpin this. I'm gonna attach the ruffles while it's flat, and now that they're all cut, I can do that. I am going to sew the ruffles to the right side of the petticoat with the bottom facing up so that they'll flip down or over the seam allowance to help them floof out a little bit, I hope. I need to figure out at what intervals I'm going to be doing ruffles. So I'm gonna go figure that out now. So it looks like I'm going to end up with 7 tiers of ruffles. One at 8 inches, one at 12 inches, one at 15.5 inches, one at 19.5 inches, one at 23 inches, and one at 26.5 inches, and the one along the bottom. So I'm going to start. I should probably measure how big the petticoat is to make sure I have enough ruffles to do that. That's what I'm going to do. That is step 1, is to stitch these together, figure out how much I have and how much I need. Alright, so I just did the math, and I don't have enough lace to do all of the ruffles. So I dug through my stash, and I have, this is organza ribbon, 2 spools of 18 feet of organza ribbon. So I'm going to do 2 layers of ruffles of this, and one on the bottom that's going to be really floofy of this. But I am doing 4 strips of lace per tier of ruffles. I'm going to do lace, that's organza, lace, tulle, and then the fabric. So that is the plan. I'm glad I made 6 bobbins. Alright, all the ruffles are sewn together. I have 2 more lace ruffles that I need to run gathering stitches on, and I have the tulle that I need to run gathering stitches on. I might end up using this whole thing, but I want to do gathering stitches on the lace first because this is 25 yards, so it's going to need a lot of gathering. And when I get back from lunch, I'm going to do gathering stitches on the last 2 pieces of lace, and I'm going to start attaching ruffles to the skirt. That's the plan. It's 4 o'clock. I'm about to go get Emma. There are a lot of ruffles on this thing. But they're all assembled. First ruffle is sewn on, second ruffle is pinned. All I have to do is sew the ruffles on and then attach the petticoat to the waistband, and then it's done. I'm hoping I'll get it done. I did finish my audiobook. started a new one, The Affair of the Poison. I really like this narrator. I'm really enjoying the audiobook. I finished my last one, Sex with Kings, 500 Years of Royal Mistresses. I really liked that. I'm going to change out of my corset. I had to put this on so that I could fit the waistband, just to make sure that I had the right measurements and it was going to work, which it is. And I can tie it so that it will sit higher than the waist here. But it's finished and ready to go. Bottom ruffles ready to go. Yeah, lots of ruffles. I'm gonna go get the tiny human. It's 20 after 7 and we're back at it. But first, I got another ruffle attached. And we just had a night terror. This calls for another cup of tea. It's 12:35. I'm going to bed. This isn't done. The only thing I have left to do is put the last ruffle on the bottom and put the waistband on. So I didn't make it in one day. I think I'm slower at this than I think I am, even without a tiny human. But also, really glad I made 6 bobbins because I have 1 left and I'm not done yet. So it's been an adventure. I am going to finish this tomorrow or at some point this week, and we're gonna call this done. But even with not having to do the hem and not having to hem any of the ruffles, this took a lot longer than I thought it would. I think it's just the amount of yardage. But anyway, I'm going to bed. Good night. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I dreamt last night about gathering ruffles, and then when my alarm went off this morning, I legitimately thought to myself that I was gonna stay in bed for a little bit longer because I didn't have the energy to ruffle my skirt together so I could put it on. These ruffles have taken over my brain. I'm gonna come back and finish this hopefully this afternoon, and I'll check in then. Alright, it's Tuesday afternoon. It's 2:30. I'm gonna see how far I can get on this. But first, tea. So I didn't do the tulle ruffle at the bottom, but all the other ruffles are sewn on. And I think at this point I'm going to sew on the waistband, because even once I get the waistband on, it's going to be gathered, but I should be able to spread out the bottom to do another hem or another band of ruffles if I feel like it needs it. Right now I need to see what it looks like on with a waistband. And then if I decide it needs it, I have this. But this is going to require another bobbin, because I just put the last bobbin in the machine. There are so many threads on the floor. You can't see them because they're cream colored, but yeah. And I'm going to have to clip so many threads. It's lovely. Yeah, there she is. Hello and happy Wednesday. I just watched Lady Rebecca's sewing vlog. She is also dealing with lots of ruffles, but for the 1830s. I pinned the waistband to the skirt. I am now clipped it to the skirt. I'm now going to go sew it onto the skirt and then flip it the right way around and then top stitch it down from the front. Hopefully that shouldn't take me very long, but gathering all of this into this waistband took forever. So it's fun. But we're going to sew it down. The waistband is only 35 inches long, so it shouldn't be too bad. And then we're going to stitch it down, and then we'll be done with this project. And I can throw it on the dress form and show you what it looks like, because I'm not putting the corset on tonight. No. Okay. I got the waistband sewn on the front, and I had it pre-ironed and the sides stitched together, and then I had it pre-ironed on the back so that it was already folded over. But the problem that I am running into at the moment is There's this big old lump of fabric here. I should not have put the eyelets in before I started stitching it because I can't fold this seam allowance up into here, because these eyelets are here. So it's just heckin' thick. You can see like right there, maybe. Right there, it's really thick, and my sewing machine was struggling and it made awful noises, and I watched bend the needle. I watched it go into the fabric and bend backwards. It's lovely. So I changed out the needle. I'm going to skip that section, and if I need to, I will hand sew that down, and then I'll sew the rest of the waistband down, and then I will put in the eyelets on the other side. I realized before I put the eyelets on the other side, I should probably wait till I attach the skirt, because this is going to get real rough. But yeah, this is going in the sharps container. I will continue sewing. And she is done in all of her glory. I am gonna wait and see what she looks like as an under structure before I put another ruffle on. I do sort of feel like aesthetically, visually, it needs another ruffle. Just because there's a big old gap there. But I don't have the bobbin thread or the energy to do any more ruffling right now, and I can always go back and add it later. It's not a huge deal, but I want to show you the back closure, so I'm going to go in for a closer look. Hang on. Alright, so this is what the back closure looks like, and there's a big old gap here, because I didn't do a placket because it's a petticoat, and I don't think this is laced properly on Daisy. Or I don't think it fits properly on Daisy. I don't remember what her measurements are. I'm making something for Zach. So I have the eyelets on either side, and I just use some twill tape. And I think this waistband is so thick because of all of the gathers that are in here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lace this below the waist so that it helps start, you can't see what I'm doing, so that it helps start the hip flare out for the skirts as the waistband instead of lacing this at the waist, because this is going to add a lot of bulk to the waist itself. But if it sits on the hip, it's not a big deal. I also didn't gather this ruffle in the back. It's in the back. I'm not worried about it. I ran out of gathering thread for the last piece there, so it's pleated, and I just eyeballed the pleats and did it wrong, and I didn't have the energy to fix it. So there we are. She is complete, and it only took me 8 cups of tea. Surely it took more, but I worked all day Monday, an hour yesterday because yesterday was Tuesday, and probably about an hour this evening, and that's where we are. If only I had had 2 more hours. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching how many cups of tea I consume while finishing this project, or you want to see the finished product for Ariel, or the other things that I plan on putting over this petticoat, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and in the comments below, tell me what is the ruffliest thing you have ever made or worn yourself. I am interested to hear, and I have ruffles on the brain. And I will see you next week with another vlog. Have a good day. And with that, so her hoop skirt petticoat is done.